All right, welcome back to Do It Yourself. This is going to be my final video before Passover this year, and I just want to go over a couple last minute final preparations for Passover. The best thing, a couple things here. The night before the Passover Eve, I guess, you should do a search with a wax candle around all the nooks and crannies of your house, any place where you think that somebody might have carried bread. And when you find it, you can set it, you set it aside, you throw it away, you get rid of it. Okay, so we'll do that in the morning. This is our last chance to take a haircut, because right after Passover we start counting the Omer, and during this time there was a plague, back in the days of Rabbi Akiva, and it's said that the great Kabbalistic sage Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, that he died on Lag BaOmer, and we observe a national period of mourning during this time where we don't trim our hair or our beards. So that's about 34 days of no haircut. And if I'm already getting a little bit long, well, then I want to get a haircut soon or tomorrow, so that I don't get really shaggy by the time that Lag BaOmer, or for us who are Sephardi or Mizrahi, Lad BaOmer, it's a difference of one day, comes around. So there's that. There may be an opportunity tomorrow to do a final special batch of matzah for the Seder, and we just do all the cooking for the Yom Tov, and yeah, we get all the last minute cleaning done. If we find some bread after all the searching and the nullification of the bread in the following day, then we burn any bread that we might find tomorrow morning. All right, so that's our final preparations. I'm going to take a quick look and show you how this is done with the candle. Okay, so I'm going to get down on the floor. I got my candle here, and I need to recite a blessing before I make my search for Chametz. And the blessing goes, there you go. We can look right on our Shulchan Aruch, like before, on page 769 in the chapter 111, about the search for Chametz. And the blessing is, Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al biur Chametz. Now, it's said that this is best to do with a candle, because there's a whole discussion in the Talmud about why we use a candle and why we don't use a torch, and why we use a single flame and we don't use all the different flames together. Be careful not to set your house on fire by torching your curtains. We just go along and we take a look on all the nooks and crannies of the house, and we make sure that there's no more chametz anywhere, right? And it's that simple. We go around the whole place. And the discussion says that, the fire of a single flame, it illuminates better and allows the eyes to focus on greater details. I'm not certain how true any of that is, but it's the tradition, it's the rulings, and that's our law. So have fun searching around with candles, and we'll get ready to nullify any chametz that might remain. Okay, so I've just completed my search for chametz, and I found a cookie. underneath the sofa. Big surprise with a 3-year-old boy in the house. I'm going to go to my Haggadah that I showed you before. Right here, I have the first. I have the blessing that we made to make the search here in Hebrew and down here in English. Okay, and I also have the same I have here is the nullification of any chametz that maybe I didn't find. There's maybe some crumbs someplace, some piece of bread that I didn't see. And I can, basically I'm going to say all manner of leaven that is in my possession that I have not observed, searched out, or had cognizance of shall be regarded as null and be common property, even as the dust of the earth. Right? So I say that here in the evening, and I'm going to say that again in the morning on the next day, no later than 5 hours after daybreak. I'm going to burn my cookie, and I'm going to nullify the chametz again. See you tomorrow. Okay, so good morning. It's Passover Eve. I'm outside here where I was baking my matzah before, and I'm gonna burn my cookie that I found last night. Luckily, I have some of this solid fire starter that I used for getting my coals going before. I've got my Haggadah with me so I can nullify my chametz again. And I'm just gonna put this on my fire starter and let the baby burn. There's been so much to do getting ready for Passover that I haven't done a good job of cleaning up my pit. I'll clean it up probably a little bit later when I make my next batch of matzah later this afternoon. And here we go. We just get that going, and that should be enough to destroy the chametz. What you want to do is you want to completely carbonize it so it's not recognizable or usable as food anymore. And so some sort of fire starter like this should be more than enough fuel to get that kind of job done for a little cookie or a piece of bread like this. Some people even leave a piece of bread or a cookie or something like this to be found on purpose. I just got lucky finding it under the sofa. Okay, my cookie's burning. I'm going to nullify my chametz again. In English, it's going to sound very much the same. All manner of leaven that is in my possession, whether I have seen it or not seen it, whether I have observed it or not observed it, whether I have searched it out or not searched it out, shall be regarded as null and be common property, even as the dust of the earth. And so any Haggadah, even the one you find online with the link that I put on the one of the previous videos, it will have all this information in there for you to nullify your chametz. Now at this point, all the rest of your chametz that you have should have been put away in a special place. That's the chametz that will be sold by a certain hour based on the hour that you set in your contract. Also available in that link for selling your chametz online. And that's it. My next step is going to be a haircut to get ready for the Omer, the Lag BaOmer situation. Not much left of that cookie. That is one burnt cookie. By the time that fuel is all done burning, that cookie or any piece of bread you put on the fire will be completely non-edible and destroyed. Woohoo! Okay, here I am outside, about to give myself my isolation haircut. Good news is, it's free. Bad news is, I have to do it for myself. But my father used to tell me that the only difference between a good haircut and a bad haircut was 3 days. Now my beard I'm going to be a little bit more careful with, but all I got is this Phillips trimmer. I'm going to go to my 10 millimeters, which means I'm going to be pretty short, but I usually go that short anyway at the barber shop. And yeah, here we go. Okay, so I'm pretty satisfied with this. It's about the length I get it cut at the barber anyway, and so this should keep me for the entire Lag BaOmer season, no problem. Now I'm going to trim up my beard. Now, this is a quick point that, Jewish men should wear a beard, and the rule is that we should cover the 5 corners of our face, but there's a little debate whether that includes a mustache or not, and so just be careful. We wear the mustache too. Anyway, I'm just going to trim it up so that it doesn't get too wild and out of control over the next month. Okay, given the limitations of our global situation and being isolated at home, I'm actually pretty satisfied. It could be better, but like I said, in 3 days, you won't know that it was me that did the job. And anyway, I got a slightly larger kippah for the holidays, and nobody will be able to see any mistakes because I'll be alone. One last thing about the beard, we don't want to use any razor on our beard, especially this part up here. It's okay below the neckline because we're commanded not to destroy the beard. Besides that, clippers, scissors, anything else we want to use is fine. Yeah, we also want to be careful about not destroying the hair on the sides of our hair. We don't want to use a razor up here. We can use clippers, scissors, anything like that. And there you go. If you're a man and you're okay with short haircuts and you're going to be isolated for a while anyway, just go ahead. I use 6 millimeters. That was pretty short, but it's what I like to get, how I like to get my haircut anyway. The maximum on my clippers was 10 millimeters, 1 centimeter. So that's still gonna be kind of short for a lot of people. If you don't have clippers at home, getting the scissors out is going to be a lot more challenging. Anyway, there you go. I'm ready for Pesach. I've got my matzah. I've got my Seder plate. I've got my Chametz sold and nullified. And my hair is all cut. And now it's just time to finish off some cooking for other dishes to eat along with the matzah tonight. And yeah, there we go. We're ready to go. Have a happy Passover. Pesach Sameach. And we'll see what we can do next time on Do It Yourself.